How you feeling?
Nervous.
So pressure?
Yeah. Okay, so I am Yiannis Fleming, aka Mr. Sport. I'm a nutrition coach. I work with primarily athletes, combat athletes in mixed martial arts, and also everyday people trying to lose weight and build muscle.
See, that wasn't too bad, was it?
No. I felt like as a child I had a lot of energy, a lot of unused energy, and that made me quite hyperactive. And when you put me in an environment where I'm talking, where I'm like writing off of the board, it doesn't really work. I did struggle with the education side, so I made a lot of friends, I had a lot of laughs, was up to a lot of mischief as a child, but in terms of education I did struggle to learn the conventional style of teaching. And then I would be put in isolation a lot of the time, so it did affect my childhood in that regard, that my education did take a bit of a hit. I think I was quite ruthless to the teachers, I'm not going to lie. There are a couple of examples. One of them is when we was outside for PE, and I was stood next to this tap, and I remember my teacher, Miss Holloway at the time, she still works there, and she said to me, she was like, "Don't you dare turn that tap, Yiannis, don't you dare," and she was shouting, she could see me in the distance, and I was just like, just turn this tap. Okay, so introduce yourself.
My name is Christina Fleming and I'm Yiannis' mum.
Did you have like a lot of run-ins with the school about how he was trying to learn?
Invariably, because he had lost, he would lose focus, he would misbehave and therefore disrupt the class. And yes, I was called in on numerous occasions about this behaviour. He had ability, he had passion, but he lost interest and focus because of the regimented style the schools used to use of teaching. I suppose he was lucky because I was aware of all these different needs in children, and therefore I adapted all of his homework, etc., towards the need he responded better at.
Could you read out like the first 3 points there are, please?
Yeah.
First couple of points.
Yeah.
Yiannis lacks concentration at times. Fuck.
He can be disruptive and doesn't appreciate the effect his behaviour has on others.
He gets bored easily.
How true is that?
Yeah, quite true actually. Quite true.
In my profession, you would focus on all the good things, and I think sometimes these issues had overridden the good things, the good aspects of Yanni, which were that he had passion, compassion for others. He's a softie, he's very sensitive, and he wants to help everybody. And they overlooked that, and they could have focused, I suppose, on his specific learning needs, but they don't have the time or the resources to do that. So yes, it is a little bit hard, but on the same tone, this is what drove him to what he's doing today. He wanted to prove everybody that didn't believe in him wrong.
Growing up, coming out of secondary school, I had a lot of hatred towards my school, a lot of hatred towards my teachers. I had an English teacher at parents' evening one day. She told my mum that, you know, if you're not careful, Yiannis isn't going to make it to, you know, college. And where I'm from and where my family is, you know, how my family originally is that, you know, education's quite important. So going and getting your degree and following, you know, a certain career path is important. And for her to say to my mum that, you know, Yiannis isn't even going to make it out of school, you know, make it to college, it did drive me. It was a motivator. But looking back now, I've got to take a bit of responsibility. And it wasn't, you know, it's not all the teacher's fault. I did find the education system difficult for people like me that are visual or kinesthetic learners. We learn by doing things. It's difficult to learn, just like I said, reading off a board. That doesn't work for me.
How was like the early stages of your business? How did you find it? Did you feel like you know you was going to succeed with it?
I knew, but I suppose you've got to be a little bit deluded. You have to delude yourself, but not to the point where you think dreams are just going to come true. It has to be within boundaries, but it was extremely hard. I went 2 years earning, £30 a week. I had my parents as well. There was pressure because I had bills to pay. I was getting to 22, 23 years old and I didn't have a pot to piss in. I've come to realise that the reason why I'm doing something that I'm passionate about is only because I've stayed on course. There's a lot of people at college, at uni, my masters, in business now that are smarter than me, that in some ways are probably better than me, but there's somewhere down the line they've just given up. And I think no matter how shit you are, if you stay on course and you keep improving, you keep learning, eventually you're just stood there alone and you're the only one there, and then it's just like, well, this is your business, Like I said, if you find something you're passionate about that you can see yourself doing down in the future, hard work is nothing, it's part of the process, but it's important.
Final question. How do you feel about your mum?
I love my mum. My mum is my queen, mate. I've put my mum through a lot. I put my mum through trouble with police, trouble with girls, trouble with loads of issues in my life, and she could have turned her back on me, but she hasn't. She stuck by me, and I think I would not be here doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for the support from my mum 100%. So yeah, my mum's my queen, mate.
Okay. I'm going to leave it there for a little bit.